10 before 8 at KNEB 960 and KNEB.com. 26 degrees as you're out the door this morning. Let's get to News Extra. Here is Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We have Scott Schaneman and Dave Wolf here from the North Platte NRD. Well, we got a lot to talk about. These guys are very busy here at the start of the year. A lot of reminders for the producers, so we're going to get right with it. Scott is going to talk here about a number of water management programs and acre set-aside programs that folks can get involved in.
That's right, Kevin. We have here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be launching a couple new programs here with the NRD. Sign-ups for these programs will begin on the 25th of January and run through the 5th of February. The first program I'll talk about is what we call the 1030 program. It's a crop idling program where it's consumptive use based. If you got some pivot corners or a sprinkler, in-gun, or possibly a hard-to-manage field that you'd like to set aside and stop irrigating, we will be interested in entering in a contract with you to set those lands aside. And what that means, it'd be set aside for the entire duration of the allocation period, which would be the next 4 years. That program pays $150 an acre and would be ranked and based on depletion numbers, and then depletion numbers are the amount of water that would be returned to the river in 50 years. The second program that we're launching is called EPIC program. Its acronym is Encouraging Producer Innovation Through Conservation. That program has got three faces on it. The first face of it is an allocation buy down. If you're a wheat, sugar beet grower or alfalfa grower and you want to go to a less consumptive use crop, thinking maybe I won't need all those irrigation inches that you have allocated to you, you can sell them back to the NRD. The NRD will be paying $20 an inch for those, and this program is for groundwater acres only, not commingled acres. The second part of that program is if you're in a federal program like an AWEP, CREP, or CRP or something like that, that is going to expire here shortly. And if you re-enroll, we will boost that federal payment another $50 an acre. So, for example, if you're CREP in a CREP contract, it's paying roughly $140 to $50 an acre. We'll throw another $50 an acre on it, get you closer to $200. The third part of that EPIC program is the innovation side. If you're a producer that's thinking about doing something kind of neat, changing the way you operate, and are willing to reduce consumptive use, that's something that the NRD is interested in. You can come into the NRD and we can talk about your proposal, and you may be able to receive a grant for that innovation to help you defray some of your costs.
Wow. Okay. So all those things available to you, and you also wanted to make a quick announcement about the fact that just remind folks about the flow meter requirements that are required by the end of this year. They don't have to do it right away, but when the weather gets a little better, that's something they need to think about, right?
That's exactly right. By January 1, 2017, all producers that are in the fully appropriated area, and I guess that just means anyone who doesn't have a flow meter right now will be required to have one by January 1. And I want to remind everyone that there's cost share available, and go into your NRCS office and ask those folks about the cost share, and they can help you get signed up.
All right, very good. We'll take a break. There's some other things they need to remind you about, and Dave Wolf will handle that right after this.
Projections are that by 2050, there will be 2.5 billion more people in the world. The students of today will be at the peak of their professional careers in 2050. They will be the ones responsible for fulfilling that increased demand. I'm Ronnie Green, Vice Chancellor of the Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources at the University of Nebraska. We need to attract the very best thinkers and doers to our industry at all levels. To learn more, go to ruralradio.com and click the UNL tab.
Back on News Extra this morning, our focus today is on the North Platte NRD. Scott Schaneman and Dave Wolf are here. And Scott was on the first half of our segment with talked about a number of water management and set-aside programs. Of course, you can get more information on all these things by going to the website there, npnrd.org, npnrd.org. You can get more information on all these things. But Dave is going to talk about a number of things, 3 things in particular. First of all, talking about the free domestic water testing kits, right?
Yeah, we've done a pretty decent job of working with our producers, and they've done a really good job of kind of lowering the nitrate levels that we've had throughout our district. But one of the areas that our staff felt we were kind of neglecting was the domestic well section. So we applied for a grant through the Department of Environmental Quality, and got a grant to provide free testing for any domestic well in our district. So a couple, would be last year, 2 years ago, we put all of our nitrate monitoring graphs online. So you can go to our website, and if you're interested to see that, maybe there's some nitrate problems or issues in your area and you want to test your well, we'll provide that free to you as long as you give us back the information when we get back. And what the test will do, it'll test for lead, it'll test for pH, it'll test for hardness, nitrates, nitrites. There's about a list of, I think, 8 or 9 things it'll test for, but it'll give you a baseline to see if there's any further testing that is needed. We just want to make sure that everybody that in our district has the ability to check and make sure they have clean drinking water.
All right, very good. You also have some producer roundtables that are coming up in various areas of the district, right?
Absolutely. We 2 years ago we did this when our general manager came on board, John. He wanted to get out and just talk to people and see what their concerns were. They were hugely successful. Last year we just had one annual meeting. It was not hugely successful, so we decided to go back to the roundtables. They're one per county. But you're free to attend any one. So if somebody in Morrill can't make the Scottsbluff County one, they could go to Banner, they could go to the Sioux County one. We just want people to show up, so we're giving you 5 different options. They start in January 19th. We're going to be down in Garden County, down in Llewellyn. The 21st, we're going to be in Banner County at the Double L County Store, which is the old Hilltop Cafe. January 22nd, we'll be at the American Legion in Morrill. The 28th will be at the Broadwater Fire Hall, and the 29th of January will be at the Remington Club. They're outside of Minutair. And what we want to do is we'll give kind of an overview of what we were at, where we want to go in the future, but the real purpose of this is to get feedback. We got 5 or 6 different suggestions last year, or 2 years ago, that we actually put into practice that came straight from our producers. And one of them was we're willing to take their end guns off if we provide incentive, and so we thought that was a good idea, and so we put that into practice. But we just want to get that feedback, and we're a government. Our board is elected by our constituents, so we want to make sure that we're doing what they would like us to do.
All right. The other last thing we want to talk about is the telemetry piece. We got about a minute or so to do
We've got, we received a grant through the Department of Natural Resources, and we are looking at a lot bigger grant through the Nebraska Environmental Trust to put telemetry units on all irrigation wells. One, that'll help us so we're not wasting time, money, fuel, going out and reading our 3,000 different meters. This will provide an instant reading of the meter, so the producer will be able to use it. They'll be able to go to their computer and see how much water they've pumped, how much water they have left. And we think it's going to be a huge savings, not only to the district money-wise, but also to the individual landowner.
All right. All right, you guys are very busy here at the first of 2016, and I know John is working on legislative issues right now as well. And, of course, you got the good news about some of the situation with recycling grants. That is good news, right? So, very busy time for the North Platte NRD. We appreciate Scott Schaneman and Dave Wolf coming in today on News Extra.
the KNEB Farm and Ranch Expo, February 5th and 6th. This is 960 KNEB, Scottsbluff Gearing, your trusted voice for agriculture.